Blessings to all the consciousness-filled minds and hearts. Addressing people while speaking is common, and there are so many ways to do it. Everyone must have noticed that in all the discourses you're all being referred to as the consciousness-filled minds and hearts, signifying that I'm thoroughly experiencing the greatest consciousness within you all, and I'm strongly wishing you all to that greatest state of experience, the infinite consciousness within you, and to persist that state forever. Yes, each one of you is a true form of the Divine Self. You're all the personification of the Supreme Self. You're all the embodiments of the Divine Consciousness. But over generations, every human being has ignored and forgotten this fact. Everyone has accepted themselves to be just a human being. And now, does anyone even stand at a position to be a human, or did everyone drag themselves lower than that? This requires self-realization at an individual level. At every opportunity of speaking about any higher order of things, most people try to run away from it instead of listening to it. I might get scared of listening to all these. I might get to know about myself and fear not being right. I might panic about knowing the future and the future of unknowns. Most of us think this way, but you need to have courage to listen and understand. You must stand fearless, and to be fearless, you ought to listen. We also see a mindset that says, we know all of these. There is nothing new in this. There is nothing we do not know. But there is one. You do not know the true consciousness within yourself. You can only realize your physical appearance as a person. But caught up in the body, bodily functions, appearance, and entangled in your own instincts, you seldom realize the true consciousness. It is necessary to remind you of all these as it is in an hour of need. Reiterating the fact again, you are the personification of the true consciousness. Where is that consciousness coming from? It is within you. It is deposited in every fragment of yourself. But you're ignoring that inner consciousness and trying to accomplish the needs of the outer world. The outer world referred to here is nothing but the creation, which includes all human beings. Then comes the animals and all material things. You're only attributing your feelings to the materialistic positions of the world. This is just like a person performs all the daily chores from dawn to dusk and goes to sleep at night. Your body needs sleep to rest. In that state of sleepiness, there comes a dream. In the dream, they see themselves as a king or a queen or as a great person. They see themselves at an esteemed position with a lot of fancy possessions. But as they open their eyes, they're just there where they went to sleep, leading the same life. Is a dream a psychological experience? Is a dream the hidden wish of the mind, which means your mind is segregating all your wishes and feelings and projecting it back as a dream? Or is it your emotion? The emotions aided by hidden aspirations is reflected as a dream. The response to this is both. Many sages make a connection between the dream and real life. Just like in a dream, you attribute your wishes and aspirations and enjoy them as if they were true. But as soon as you wake up, you realize that it is a dream. In the same way, in real life, you're attributing yourself to be physical embodiments and living in that mode. This is what the Mahatmas or the sages are saying who lived life truly. But you might think, why would life be like that? I can experience everything like pain and pleasure, fear and sadness. There is so much fondness for life. There is so much love for life. Not being able to realize this is also embedded in human ego. This looks so real, then why is this even compared to a dream? Why is it called Maya or illusion? To say this more explicitly, whatever is seen does not exist. Whatever we are hearing, we're interpreting them as intended. We're uttering a lot of words, but do we mean what we say? These are the various states. Now the same question arises again. Is life a dream or a reality? In this situation, what is the truth? What is not? What is wisdom and what is ignorance? Outstanding questions startle us. But if you think about it, for a human who's caught up in the rat race of leading life, there is hardly any time to even think about this. Any human being, for that matter, any living being in the existence of this planet must battle for survival. Survival has become essential. Survival may comprise many complex situations and critical battles. Being caught up in survival mode, you're losing yourself. You stop loving yourself. You're under a delusion that you're loving everything. You're under a delusion that you're cherishing everything. You're under a false impression that you can see reality. Do you really think all these events happening in life are true? Then why do the great souls, the Mahatmas, say everything is Maya, an illusion, and nothing is real? They insist the human to walk down the path of quest for never-ending truth. Why do they say that? Because there is a lot to comprehend and there is even more than that to experience. Are you thinking, is it necessary for me to know? The answer is yes, because you've achieved a standard of living, a decent standard of living. Now that you've attained a decent economic and social status, the battle of survival has become easier for you. There is no struggle in it anymore. Yet, you look at different worldly things and believe you will be happy achieving those. You feel you would only be content achieving all those worldly pleasures. Is there not a need to think beyond this worldly quest? Is there not a need to search for truth? Everyone must have that quest for the truth. How long will you run away in fear? How far will you run away from the truth? There is no place to go fleeing from life. Death is the only end. A person may just feel that they have the best of everything and are leading a happy life. They think that they proved themselves to the world and people recognize them. But if it is true, why do people experience a void? And that void brings loneliness. The feeling of being alone even though you're surrounded by people. We already mentioned that humankind is not trying to experience the consciousness within. But the same humankind is battling with the loneliness within. Why and where is this emerging from? In this battle, in this struggle for life, why are people ending up in a state of loneliness? Why? Because living within the dream is wonderful. This state of dream is beautiful, but the reality is not. And in this reality, there exists hard work and the quest required to achieve those dreams. In this reality, there exists a dilemma as well, arising from the confused state of people who do not know what exactly they want in their life. Do you think loneliness comes from this state? They enjoy the company of near and dear. live in amity with everyone, and everyone is so happy with them. But deep down, they feel the same void. Why? I'm surrounded by my family and friends, and they shower so much love and affection on me. Still, I feel a void in me. Everyone faces this situation at some point in life. No one's an exception. Everyone faces this state of void in their life. Why does this come at all? Everything in life seems great. The financial well-being, getting recognition from the people around, everything. Yet, there is a state of void in the mind. They feel that no one is there for them but themselves. Being alone is very different from being lonely. For instance, while being alone in nature, one enjoys oneself watching the beauty of nature. The loneliness is not felt at that time. We get immersed in the serenity of nature. When we see the diversity in nature, like a rising or setting sun, dew mist in the deep forest, or a giant wave amid an ocean, we develop a close affinity with nature. And when the bond with nature is formed, the heart will be filled with the everlasting joy and experience the bliss and get completely immersed in it rather than going into a lonely state. But people are experiencing the void in their life. The reason behind this is a lack of comprehension. There might arise questions like, are we responsible for this? What should we gain awareness of? What needs to be achieved to get rid of this? Why does this happen even though we're fulfilling all the responsibilities properly? There are so many answers to these questions. There can be more questions arising in your mind, and all of them have answers. There is a great analogy our elders used to illustrate this. During the dawn, you hang a rope high up from the ceiling to fulfill some task. The day passes and dawn sets, and you come out for something. The hanging rope startles you, as you think it's a snake. You mistook it for a snake. You forgot that you hanged it there. You even forgot that it was just a rope. You slip into an illusion. The rope seems to be a snake due to that illusion. You're afraid that the snake will bite you. You think about what you need in this situation. You would need a light and a stick to protect yourself from the snake. So you start worrying about gathering light and weapons. You think without these you can't escape the snake. You bring a light, and in the light you see that you got scared of a rope, not a snake. Then you realize, oh, I hang this here. How did I forget that? This is the analogy many Mahatmas or sages illustrated many times, an allegory the ancestors talk about to depict the current state of life. In the present state, you fear for your life and filling yourself with immense void due to this fear. Even though you have some form of love and affection shown by friends and family surrounding you, if you think of the reason behind this void, whether it's coming because of you or your life, the answer for this would be that it is happening because of you. You are fearing your life. This statement itself tells that you are the source of this fear. This fear originates within you. Your weakness is not the reason for this void. Neither are your strengths. There is nothing to look for here. It is also not the attempt to achieve something. All these cannot fill the void when you can fill yourself with you. Only then you can get rid of this void. A question arises: what it means by filling myself with me? Am I not full of myself? Again, the answer is no. You don't exist. There is no you in you. And that is creating the void in place of you. You're experiencing the void. You're experiencing this void even when you are surrounded by so many people. You're not present in your life. You're not present in your mind. Then what exists there? You're filling your mind with their thoughts. You're filling your mind with the fears and hopes arising from all bonds and relations around you. All these feelings are getting accumulated there. When all these are getting filled in, then the word you becomes emptied from there gradually. Instead of you, it's filled with your goals and your ambition. Is my strength enough to reach my goal? Am I capable of achieving them? What should I do? How do I improve my efficiency? How do I enhance the knowledge and skills required to reach my goals? All these accumulated feelings will give in to fear and anxiety. There is also another confused state which arises from the feeling. Am I going to get recognized by the people around me for the work I'm doing? So this means you're not trying to get recognized as yourself. You're wishing to get recognized only by the work you're doing. The reason is you're not there at all. A doubt might occur to you here. How am I doing the work without me there? How am I doing all these without me even being there? A person is not their effort. They're just putting in the effort. In the same way, a person is achieving success, but they're not the success. The person has achieved that success. Dhamma means if one exists, it can acquire the other. Similarly, when responsibilities, obligations, attachments, and affections exist, one must make compromises along the way while following all these. Compromise at every point. Only when compromised will they sustain. Only when they're sustained, it gives a sense of satisfaction that I have all of them. Either the other person must compromise or you must bend your head. So you're adjusting everywhere and at every point in life. And when you're adjusting yourself everywhere, where do you exist at all? Only the adjustment is seen there, right? So where are you? You're present in your body. You're present in your feelings. You're present in your thoughts. You seem to be present in the matter of your attention, but you're not there. What is there then? Your effort, your feeling, your thought, the action you take, and its results are only there. Then what is this void state that is being talked about here related to? You might ask, when I'm doing all these, why is this void state seen? And I can do all these only because I'm there. But you're not completely present within yourself. Your perception of me is not completely present. It is getting mixed with various things in life. The you in you is taking a multifold appearance and is losing its existence. At this point, you might ask, so am I expected to not do anything or not want anything? Should I remain as still as a post? No, that is not what is being asked. Pay close attention to the details here. You should be there for yourself. You need to be in a state which completes you. You need to be in a state which makes you attain the absolute experience. Only if you attain that state, then you will be able to triumph in whatever you do. You can achieve good results from everything you do if you ask, how do I even exist without me being there? You are like that. You are living like that all your lifetime. Just take a moment to recap your life from childhood till date. As a kid, you always took instructions from your parents or guardians. Were you ever allowed to do anything by your own wish? Maybe you did mischief here and there, your way. Recall the amount of happiness that left you within that moment. As you grew older, you were educated. You learned enough to make a livelihood. You started earning for yourself. You strive hard to prove yourself with every task you commit to, but you're unable to satisfy anyone. Also, in real life, no one around us ever gets satisfied by the other. This is a fact. It is almost impossible to satisfy other people around us. Same is true as in being satisfied by what others offer to us. At every point, we're just managing ourselves and going along with life. When life is going like this, then how is this void filled in? It will go on like this. Once this void creeps in, it will be present from beginning till the end of life. In that case, how can we fill this void? You can. You can attain the you and at the same time live this worldly life. You will be carrying out all the worldly chores. You do not need to compromise with patience. You do not need to endure anything here. You do not need to tolerate anything and push yourself to achieve success as you do in the worldly life. For worldly life matters, patience and endurance are the two weapons that are required. To completely fulfill yourself, you do not even need those. But there is one thing that is needed the most. That is concentration. Yes, focus your concentration on yourself. Concentrate on everything that is happening within yourself. Once you start observing, you will get clarity. Yes, I'm not at all with me, and that is why I have this void. Is this hinting at something else? Yes, it is. That something else is your true state, your identity. Until you attain your true state and true nature, this void state will continue like this. The true state is a divine blissful state where one enjoys the utmost happiness within themselves. Many sages who are living or lived in this state have been saying this. This divine bliss will prevail as truth. It will blossom as the ultimate wisdom. That means your true state itself is the truth, and your true state itself is wisdom. But what are you doing to attain this true state of bliss? What are you doing to get out of the void you created? Are you even trying to put any effort? Are you doing anything? Even with the thought of this discussion, why are you trying to run away from this? What are you afraid of? Be fearless, stand strong, fight this battle till you succeed. Prove yourself. Being born as a human being in this world, prove and show what you are in this world. But who are you going to prove yourself to? Prove it to your inner self. When your inner conscious does not question you on your actions, that is when you have achieved success. If you can understand the true nature of the absolute witness self within, then you can realize your true state. As you start filling yourself with that true state, then you will become complete. Once you're filled with that state, there will be no more void over there. What exactly is this true state? Is it the state of your true self? Are we calling the true self as consciousness? Or is it something else greater than these? Is it the innate nature of a person? The only response to this question is a human being's natural state is always in accordance with nature. But there is only one state that is within. That is your true inner state. The same is being said as your inner self. Your inner witness always challenges you for your every decision you make. Your inner conscious keeps the quest on for you to go in the right direction. But you seldom pay attention to your inner conscious. Even if you get some time, you will never try to look at it. You always want to indulge yourself in materialistic things. Always think of enjoying something or the other, or want to do something that you like, or see around the place that you like, or listen to your favorite music. But you never ever listen to what the consciousness is saying. What is your inner consciousness telling you? It tells you about yourself. It guides you about the path you're walking. It voices your thoughts. It narrates your action. If one can listen to the voice of inner conscious, which is always warning you about all these, if one can attain that state, then they can become a complete human being. It is because a person did not attain that state, they lacked wholeness. Where there is no completeness, void exists over there. This void continues to follow a person for several lifetimes. Even if you're reborn as a human being in 10 more lives, the same void will follow and be with you. If you do not attempt to fill it, then it will follow you forever. It comes along with your birth and goes away with your death, and then starts off with the rebirth. A person comes to birth only to fill this void. If you can't listen to the teachings and persuasions of your inner self, at least pay attention to your consciousness. Your consciousness is a state of awareness that is always observing you. It has knowledge and understanding about you. Listen to what your conscience has to say. When your conscience tells you about your mistakes, learn to accept them. Never think, is it worth listening to my conscience? I can't live a single moment if I listen to it. If you can give some space to honesty in your mindset, it would be making some progress towards filling the void, which means you have started towards completing yourself. Similarly, if you try to achieve the state of being aware, which is your conscious, that state of awareness will always guide you by being a witness. Take the example of the great sun somewhere high in the sky. He is the witness of everything that is happening in the world. He is watching. Nothing can happen without the touch of his rays, without his light. One may think at night there is no sun, so none of these might happen. But if you see the fact, the sun never sets. We all know that it happens because of the rotation of Earth. We might take this phenomenon of the sunset, which is happening due to rotation of the Earth, and think that the sun is not present in the night. So the witness form is not there. Panchabhutas or the 5 elements are here. The 5 elements are becoming the form of witness. All these elements are originating from the energy of the sun. We all know that. Then who do you think is receiving all these? It is received only by the witness. There is consciousness as well, which I told you about earlier. It always observes you. It observes you by being aware of everything you do. But how do you make yourself complete with this observation? There is only one thing to follow to make yourself complete. You don't have to put a huge effort into this. There is no need to worry too much, no need for any quest. The effort you need to make to unveil the most sublime thing is a simplistic and amazing way is to observe yourself. Yes, start observing your words, your actions, and your behavior. Observe whatever you speak. See how honest you are in that. People think that if we do this, we can't survive in this world. If you always think about the outer world, no matter how much you enjoy worldly experiences, you would end up standing guilty in front of your inner self. If you can divert your concentration towards yourself, if you can turn it inwards, then it becomes a yogam. That yogam will help you move forward. The yogam referred here is the communion of two, unity. You're being in an unreal state, wandering in the material world, attaining the true state of the real world within you. Gaining the eligibility to move forward to travel from that real state to the experiential state of divine consciousness is nothing but yogam. You will achieve completeness if you practice this yogam with concentration. The consciousness should evolve from the darkness within you. Its light must radiate. One must develop clarity in that radiance and step forward with that clarity. With every step, you get closer and closer. You get closer to yourself. You get closer to your true self. You get closer to your divine power of consciousness. You get closer to the universal consciousness, which is in the spiritual form of true consciousness within you. Only when you can transform into the true self, the void ends. There is no more emptiness over there. There is no more void state as well. There is only one state left, which is a complete evolved form of the secret, true, natural state. Why are we calling this a secret? It is because no one knows what you know. The secret is known only when you share it with others. The secret is with you. If you can unravel the secret, you can experience how divine is the evolution of human beings who have attained divinity. This experiential state merges into your true state. That true state, the complete state, there is no need to teach anything to that. That is the greatest state where there is no void, no disappointment, there is no fear, there is no agony. There is only success. There is only happiness and bliss. You're now a universal human being. You are an embodiment of universal consciousness. Wishing that everyone would attain that highest state of consciousness by realizing that it is in your hands, in the path you're traveling, in your state of fearlessness, and only in your true inner feeling of divine consciousness.